Okay, go into Zencaster.
Well, go ahead. I'm going to hit record from Zoom.
Oh, you're going to record on Zoom. Okay. As long as we have a recording of it, that's all I care about.
I got a Zoom sitting here. I assume that everything that is her. Let me do one thing. Share screen.
Hello, everybody.
Advanced computer audio.
Hang tight. We're getting ready to start the show.
All right, this is all recording on this end. I think we're going to end up either at the end of this with an option to record or download the recording or something. It's not just going to stream.
You say that.
I now can't hear you.
What? What'd you do?
Hang on a second.
All right. Jane, shoot me a message if you can hear me. Let me know you can hear me. Why is it?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Oh, you keep removing yourself from the stage. Okay, that's you doing that.
No, I wasn't. It had to do with me doing the recording on Zoom, so that's not going to work.
Okay, so let's go get into Zencaster.
Hold on, before I do that, let me just... Okay. Oh, yeah. You're coming in here too?
Yeah, I'm going to set it there.
Good?
Yeah, let me see if I can kill that.
Well, now it's getting the feedback echo from recording and streaming two different places at the same time.
Yeah, I'm going to see if the Zencaster can. Test one. Speak.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm still getting echo from you.
Yeah, same.
Hold somewhere. On. But maybe if I...
is your sound coming out into your office, or do you do you have headphones?
I do, but they won't work with this setup. To the people in the chat, are you hearing Big Sexy Echo, or am I the only one hearing Big Sexy Echo? This would be a good time for you to speak so that they can test the question I just asked them.
Oh, yes. Are you hearing me echo at all? Or is it single?
Well, it sounds like that echo might just be for me. I can roll with that.
I can roll with that as well.
Perfect.
All right. And once we hit the music, everything from this point on should be perfect. All right, here we go. Let's get in it. And that's where, did that start in the middle?
I don't think so.
Okay. What I love about this being a perfect episode is that we're also doing this for the very first time. We have not wrinkled out. We have not spent 80 episodes wrinkling out the bugs on this. Here we go.
Welcome, one, and welcome all. This is your co-host, Judgmentalist, on the 80th and most perfect first-time live streaming of those. So there's the protection episode of Big Sexy Nomad. That's right. We are here trying to get it right for the first time. And of course, we're not doing everything that we've been doing the way that we've been doing it, trying to perfect it. We're winging it. Here we go. Your host, Big Sexy.
good morning, good afternoon, good evenings. Whenever this is hitting your ear holes, I hope that it is good. For those in the live chat, those who are in this with them now, welcome to a live taping, streaming, whatever it's called, episode. You can tell I'm old school. I say live taping. Welcome to our live event here on Big Sexy Digital Nomad. To the people who check it out after we stream this, thank you guys for tuning in and welcome all. It's going to be a fun episode. Hopefully, like all good shows, the rehearsals were fucking terrible. Um, so many different technical issues, but we're here. We're doing the damn thing. I want to send a shout out. We got in the background, I want to give a big shout out to my friend Jane. Jane, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate you. Jesus Man Jennifer Moore, I can talk about this fast if you want to hear me. It's on a 1.5 speed to see if it sounds pretty good to you. Otherwise, that part's going to be really weird when we actually play it at 1.5 speed, because then it's going to be like double speed, and you might not be able to understand what I said. Yeah. But, yeah, excellent. Welcome. Well, here we are, Judgmentalists.
Yeah, we are still doing this thing that we set out to do. What was that? October 5th?
We started recording in September, right? And we dropped our first episode October 5th, and here we are 80 weeks later. Still doing it, and I'd say 80 episodes later, but it's not actually. It's like there was additional like 30 bonus, quote unquote, bonus episodes that we did and recorded and published. So man, we are like in the weeds in this. We've been doing this for quite some time, and like I said, way back in the day, we'll have it all figured out and perfected by episode 80. The good news is we got the format and the conversations and the type of things we're doing. We're pretty solid on that, I'd say. We're going pretty well. We on the other stuff, we're just learning. Why we're just learning? Because this is brand new. So once we've live streamed 80 times, it'll be perfect.
Are we going to live stream 80 times? You know what I just figured out? Speaking of getting to perfection, we're running this in the background on Zencastr to record. I was getting an echo of your voice and only your voice. And I just realized that if I click the button on this platform to mute you, I don't have that echo anymore. Oh, man. Well, and if it is recording here, I'm interested to see if your audio is going to be on it or if I fucking muted you on the recording here. But you're not. Can everybody in the live stream hear Big Sexy speaking? Can't hear Big Sexy. So nope, I didn't solve a problem. I created a problem because I muted you. When I muted you, I muted you for everything.
Yeah.
So I am going to have to deal with the echo that's only for me because I probably can't.
You can't mute me. Don't mute me in StreamYard. What if you mute? Can you mute me in Zencastr?
That's what I was looking at, and I can't.
I don't think so, because if I mute, then I won't be recording in Zencastr. So we just have to deal with the echo. That's all right. We'll call this one Echoes of Perfection. That's the name of this episode. Echoes of Perfection.
Of all the sounds we shouldn't be playing during the perfect episode.
So how's it been going, good sir? How's everything been since the last time we recorded, which was not that long ago, actually. Maybe about a week, right?
I think a week. We recorded the Thursday before I went to Atlanta, right?
Yeah. So you went to Atlanta. How was the Atlanta trip?
Atlanta was hot, hotter than I thought it was going to be given the forecast. In fact, I ended up so number one, we were on the ground. This is my stage partner Bernardo and I heading down to Atlanta. We were doing a fundraiser show at Georgia Tech University. To ultimately we were hosted by the Phi Kappa Tau fraternity. They've got a chapter there.
Nice. Shout out to Phi Kappa Tau or whatever they call.
They're a national fraternity. They probably have 100 chapters in different colleges and universities throughout the U.S. When I was in undergrad, at the Rochester Institute of Technology, I was in one of the chapters there, which is how I kind of got all the wheels going on this whole thing.
Gotcha.
The national organization has adopted a philanthropy, and it's called the Serious Fun Children's Network. And basically, each of the chapters has a requirement to host a fundraiser event to benefit financially and awareness-wise the Serious Fun Children's Network each and every year. So we started reaching out to schools to say, or chapters, to say, hey, we've got this idea, we've got this stage show, it travels well. Anybody interested in linking up with us to put on a fundraiser show to benefit Serious Fun? So these were the first ones to jump on board. Actually, it was like some sort of, Facebook group or something for the fraternity nationally. So they jumped on board, and we reached out to the national organization for the fraternity to let them know, hey, we've got this thing going on. Can you help us connect with other chapters regionally? We tried to do that. It didn't really work. So we just went down for one show. We were on the ground in Atlanta for less than 24 hours. Not much, but about 24 hours. We landed at 9:45 a.m. Our flight the very next day took off at 9:30. So just about 24 hours.
Just about 24 hours. Wow. So you didn't get to do a whole lot of sightseeing in Atlanta.
No, not really. But I would say that we maximized our time. We went and tried to figure out what kind of food was like the local cult food other than Southern comfort food. We didn't get too many great answers. So we ended up, when we got there, we checked into our hotel, kind of got our bearings and where we were. Then we zipped out to this barbecue joint, had some brisket. That was great.
You're pretty much shooting yourself in the foot if you go to Atlanta and not looking for Southern comfort food. That's kind of what they do.
Yeah, but a lot of places. So like Cincinnati has, that chili that's not what most people think of as chili, that they put on spaghetti and pile a bunch of cheese on top of.
Chicago got your deep dish pizza.
Yeah. See, that was an echo, but it was two different voices. You can imagine what I heard with three voices. So Chicago's got that. They also have Italian beefs that they're well known for. I'd mentioned Rochester, and having gone to undergrad there, we have these things called garbage plates in Rochester, which is basically like macaroni salad, home fries with 2 cheeseburgers on top, and then this sloppy ass meat sauce. That's total, like, after you're half in the bag drunk food. But other cities, not every city, but Maryland's known for crab cakes and things like that. So we were hoping
to find something that Atlanta was known for regionally, not as opposed to Southern, which you can get in Atlanta. You can get that at other places, right? You can get that, Georgia. You can go to Texas.
Like Nashville's got the hot chicken, so a lot of places have it. So we didn't find something super specific, but hey, the brisket was good and that was great. Then we went and joined some of the members of the fraternity on campus. They've got this big wide open quad type of area where people are, going to and from classes, and the student center and dining halls and things like that. So, we had not sold the show out at the time. So we stood out there handing out flyers. We did some demonstration and basically some street magic type of stuff while we were out there to try to promote the show. I'm pretty sure that we picked up a handful of additional tickets with our efforts there.
The guerrilla style marketing, as it's called.
Exactly. So we did that, and honestly, 3 hours standing out in southern sun, I actually got a little red in the face from it.
Yeah. I take it you didn't put on any sunscreen?
No, I wasn't thinking that was a necessity. It was hotter than it felt, if that makes sense. Like you didn't really, it like crept up on you. It wasn't like being in Vegas when it's 115 and you're like, I'm in a kiln. It was warm, but clearly the perception of it was actually hotter than we thought. And the sun, obviously we're more south than us northerners are used to. I mean, technically we're southerners because we're from Maryland, but that neither here nor there. So yeah, it was, and then the show was fun. We had probably every technical issue that one could have during the show, but I just kind of ignored all those issues and powered through, and everything went great. Lots of fun stuff in the routines. In fact, anybody that's familiar and subscribes to the Patreon that I have for the Between Two Minds show, or goes on there and occasionally buys some of the videos of the live shows, I'm actually uploading that right now. But yeah, it was cool. You clicked that because I'm not even on that screen. So the cool thing about
some of the fun stuff we can do here.
The cool thing about that format and the ability through that Patreon to sell the show videos is I now have a way to raise money for that nonprofit into perpetuity. Because when we put those up there, most of the time we're selling the video for $20.
Nice.
Between the credit card processing and Patreon wanting their taste, we lose about a quarter of that. So there's like $15 that comes through, which means every time one of those videos sells, we can give half of that or a third of that or whatever. And that being the case for any of our nonprofit shows, when that money drops in, we have the ability to just keep sending them checks. So the hope is, and I actually just I just drafted a postcard to send to the camp with a little note on there saying, hey, we just did this thing down in Georgia Tech. I'd love to talk to you. This is to the main organization, the fundraiser, the nonprofit, to see if maybe we can use them as a conduit to book more of these shows. Because, and I've talked about this before, like I am blessed with having built a self-sustaining almost at this point law practice that allows me to go and do these fun things. So
right. And allows you to not have to worry about the costs and all that kind of stuff.
Right. And nothing would please me more if for the rest of my performance career, 90 or more % of the shows that I do benefit a good cause, whether it be a school group or whether it be this nonprofit or any other nonprofit. Sign me up. I mean, we don't do these shows for free, but we do them at a substantially reduced rate compared to what we would do them for. And most of the time we cap what our fee is. So if we were to, let's say that we were to do this show again at the same place next year and completely fill the auditorium, which we were in an auditorium that would have seated about 300.
Okay.
If that happens, because we had a less than half of that room was filled this time. Great show, but less than half of the room was filled. If next year it has picked up enough buzz and people are aware of it and talk about it, which is what typically happens with the show that we do, if we were to go fill that room next year, so much so that in year 3 we're in a huge auditorium, they're raising like $20,000 for that cost, because we cap our fee on something like that at like $2,500. So if they fill a 3,000 person auditorium, then at $10 a pop, we're only taking $2,500. So that's
so yeah, nonprofits out there. I mean, you got a deal here, and if you already have a set, listener base or subscriber base or a set audience house, this is the kind of show you want to have in your spot, because as a great fundraiser for your theater, your organization, because they're not in it to rake you across the coals and make a whole bunch of money. Now, if you schedule Big Sexy, I want a whole bunch of money. I don't know what kind of show I'm gonna do. It'll be funny, but I want the money.
That's right. So yeah, that was cool. For anybody who's unaware, the nonprofit, like I said, the Serious Fun Children's Network, I think seriousfun.org. This is, so when I went to undergrad, it was called Paul Newman's Hole in the Wall Camp. And this was founded by Paul Newman. You may know him or recognize his face on, grocery products like salad dressings and, various other things. And, basically kind of like just what I said about not caring if the bulk of the shows that I do for the rest of my life are fundraiser shows, all the profits from any of the Newman's own products go toward these camps. These are camps that are for kids who have terminal illness to be able to have, a safe and fun summer camp, and they and their families don't pay a dime. I don't even think they pay for travel and transportation to get to and from the camps every year. And there's a bunch of them all over. Painted Turtle is one of them. They've got different, the individual camps themselves that are part of the Serious Fun Children's Network have their own different names. Painted Turtle is one of them. I guess something to do with a hole in a wall evolved with what it meant over time. So they kind of did away with the Hole in the Wall Gang name.
Okay.
For obvious reasons.
Because there's no glory in it.
There's no glory in keeping a name like that, right? So I like I said, when I was in undergrad, I was part of the fraternity that we had that same requirement. So back then my interests were a little bit different, my expertise was a little bit different, so I threw a battle of the bands. The money from that went to the Hole in the Wall. At the time it was Hole in the Wall. So it to me, it seemed like kind of the natural go-to of, hell yeah, this is who I want to work with.
Right.
But we do a bunch of shows all the time that are like next month. Yeah. Cause it's still March. Next month, we're doing a fundraiser show for one of the local high schools, the marching band, so they can raise money to get new uniforms. We did one for a girls volleyball team at one of the local colleges. And like I said, if 90+%, I mean, hell, if it's possible to do 100% of the shows as fundraiser shows, sign me up, Yeah.
Did you get any feedback from or have you utilized the hundreds of high schools that I cultivated for you recently?
I've sent I sent all the Delaware ones out. And I'm working on tweaking some things with the way that the Maryland list is set up. So the Maryland ones haven't gone out yet, but that's because there was something wonky with the addresses, the way that they did the mail merge. So I'm trying to fix that for the next run. So yeah, I mean, it's really to the point where I need to get somebody at least part-time to kind of take over that sort of stuff. And because I know that if I had somebody that was part-time doing that stuff, that it would only be, 3 to 6 months until either that person becomes full-time or gets replaced by somebody that's full-time. Because, what I would ideally do is let's use the Atlanta scenario. Okay.
Okay.
Number one, we would do more work on the ground to try to help fill that room. I would have that part-time person reaching out to business networking groups in that general area, because I'm a member of a local business networking group here. It gives me access to the listing of all of those chapters nationally to reach out to those.
I've always wanted to join a business networking group. I've seen how that kind of stuff operates secondhand, being an entertainer in Vegas and having those kind of groups come through. I'm all, man, if I had a small business, a little business, something like that, I would absolutely join one of those groups. And when I had my DJing business, Who is Big Sexy Entertainment, I tried to join a few of them, but a lot of them, the DJing business in Vegas is overwhelmed with folks, and so trying to join that kind of community didn't quite help. But it did help being a black, having a black-owned business. There were a lot of those I could join in, and I do kind of miss some of that community. So I can imagine, being catered to and having access to those kind of events. Those are the best kind of events too, man. They cater those business get-togethers. I don't know how you guys do it in Elkton, but man, in Vegas, delicious.
Yeah, I mean, we do stuff like that. A lot of the members of my local chapter are big proponents to sponsoring all the Elkton Magic stuff. I would say more than half of the 40-person chapter that I'm a part of attends each and every one of the shows. Some more, some less, depending on the show and the dates and everything. But we get a lot of traction out of that. It's super beneficial. But also, reach out into that area, find other nonprofits who might be interested in hosting a show with us. Because if you do that, it's like, okay, well, we'd love to do that next quarter. We're actually going to be in your area on this day. Why don't you come to the show? So you're using it not only to put more butts in seats, but as an opportunity to get the next group interested in booking an event. They could also put the full court press on hitting, University of Georgia, trying to do a show at UGA, which is, 45 minutes to an hour away from Georgia Tech, so that we're flying down there and doing 2 shows instead of just 1.
Right.
They could also start reaching out to all the local high schools to say, hey, are you interested in hiring these guys for an assembly show? Normally the show costs X, but we're already going to be in town. So if we're doing something within this range of hours for you guys, we're going to slash the price immensely on it. All of those things are ideas to kind of make, like if I could go and in the same, let's expand that out and say we're doing 2 shows, one at Tech and one at UGA.
Okay.
If we could take that 2 shows there and that 48-hour stretch, and we can add 2 high school shows into that mix, we get to water down that price immensely because, we're looking to make a set amount of money by going to Atlanta for 24 or 48 hours. If that amount of money comes from 4 shows instead of just 2, then we can be real flexible on the pricing, and it still makes the trip worth it. And quite frankly, I'd rather give more people a more reasonably priced show and go do 3 or 4 shows in 2 days than to make a ton of money and take away from the nonprofit by just doing 1 show.
That makes sense. Yeah, and the best thing about doing 2 shows is it's 2 shows.
Yeah,
it's not as good as 3, but it's better than 1.
Exactly.
Takeaway. Well, cool, man. And I'm assuming that everything was successful and the people loved you and really had a great time.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of my favorite shows, and quite frankly, all of the tech snafus and powering through it. Like the only thing I didn't get out of it, I don't think, is quality content for the purposes of putting a fail video on the internet, because I know that fail videos go viral. But what I, so here's what happened. All right, we get there. The place is perfect as far as the way the room is set up, the stage is set up. Like, oh shit, yeah, can every show be in a place like this? Nice. It was a lecture hall with a stage, but for whatever reason, they could not figure out how to link into the sound system for the room. They just couldn't get it to work. There was also this big projector screen.
Oh, you mean they had sound issues?
They had sound. We had sound issues. That was the primary sound issue.
Yeah, we don't know nothing about that here.
So what happened was, yeah, maybe it's just this week. So
it was a full moon, to be fair.
Yeah. So the guy that lined this whole thing up, their philanthropy chair, who was kind of my main point of contact, rolled out and came back with this big, probably like 12-inch Bluetooth speaker. So we hook the iPad into that, and initially it works fine. There's not a ton of sound through my stage partner's half of the show in the first act, but
Right.
I've got sound throughout my show.
Because you're
And
talking the entire time.
not just that. Well, the
Not the entire
microphone
time,
worked.
but most of it. Oh,
The
good.
microphone worked, but my background music, that's what we couldn't get
gotcha.
into. So it wasn't just that the thing was on the fritz, this Bluetooth speaker, but it was one of those Bluetooth speakers that it feels like it needs to announce itself. So when you turn it on, it's like Bluetooth on, connecting, Bluetooth off, or whatever. Like it was speaking. It was, it had an
It
external.
was doing the thing, right.
And all of that in the middle of my induction, which is kind of the most important part of the show for getting people into hypnosis, because it's when I get people into hypnosis. And instead of paying any credence to what's happening over there, I just ignored it and powered through. So what I don't, could I make a fail video from it? Possibly. Is it more likely that that clip is going to show up being played sometime when I'm speaking at a conference about how to power through when everything seems to go to shit? Yeah, and it might actually happen in September when I'm speaking at the Michigan Hypnosis Conference. But, so there wasn't one of those like shit blows up and then the guy gives it some weird look.
And
so
also, we're gonna come back to that whole speaking at the Michigan Conference in September thing. Just we're coming back to that. You're not just gonna slide that under the doormat, but like, oh yeah, I'm also doing this big thing over here.
It's kind of become normal now.
Yeah. Oh, just talking to conferences about hypnosis just become.
Well, all I gotta do is get one more after Michigan by your rules.
By my rules, and then you are a professional. Well, not necessarily professional. You are a conference speaker. Well, now here's the deal. Have you already spoken at other conferences about any other topics? Ever?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, can't remember your time when you stand up in front of everybody talking to a bunch of people.
I do that shit all the time, though. So
I mean, about a subject that they paid to be there to see.
I'm blanking on that.
Okay.
I did get invited to speak at the Heartland Hypnosis Conference that's the last week of April this year, but I have gigs already booked, and like 10 days later I'm going to Egypt, so I'm not fucking around with time zones. I'm not going to go west and then come back east to go way east.
Right.
I made that decision a long time ago that Heartland wasn't going to be in the playbook for me this year, but they definitely reached out and said, "Hey, we want you to speak at this," and I'm like, because also it ran into the fundraiser gig that I've got, the one for the high school marching band. So
how do they reach out? How do these conferences for hypnosis find you, or did they just how do they find you?
I woke up one morning to a text message from the guy that runs it saying, "Hey, this is William Mitchell." I guess they saw my presentation, the recording of my presentation from the Vegas summit in January or February. Yeah, February, first weekend of February.
Right.
And and it's a small community. Like the magic community is pretty small. I talk about with these Elkton magic shows having a minimum of 2 audiences, not just the butts in the seat, but the performer on stage needing to have a good experience, because I know that he or she's going to talk to other magicians, and either Elkton is a good place to perform or a bad place to perform. So a lot of these people in this circle talk to each other, and it's a much smaller circle.
And what I hear, by the way, is that Elkton is a great place to perform magic. I do hear it being talked about mostly by Matt Donnelly on Penn Sunday School. He's mentioned it quite a few times and gave you shout out. So if you know any magicians, send them out to Elkton.
Yeah. It's fun times. I mean, we always have a good time with it. And so yeah, that's that's how that happened, but just the dates didn't work out. So I'll end up
Right.
doing by January, which is when the next Performing Hypnosis Summit is in Vegas. That'll be probably the third one.
Hopefully, we'll be in Spain, so I'm probably gonna miss that one.
That's all right, but
Yeah.
well, there'll be more. There's one happening in July that I'm not even thinking about called Hypno Thoughts.
Hypno thoughts.
Hypno Thoughts, yeah.
What is that in Vegas or
That's in Vegas. That one's at the Sahara, maybe.
Okay.
I think the Sahara.
Not going to that one. Just gonna let that one pass by.
I'm just letting that one go. Yeah, I'm actually so for the Michigan one. I'm speaking, and I am their official podcaster.
Oh, sweet. So, what does that mean as an official podcaster? Do they have their own podcast and you're gonna host it, or does it mean that you're a podcaster who is also speaking?
They have a podcast, or the coordinator has a podcast.
Okay.
And that I want to say this is the 4th or 5th year of that conference, Michigan, and it's gotten big enough to the point where he can't run it and dedicate the time to doing the podcast, where he'll basically interview people who have spoken about their speaking and everything like that. So he was looking for somebody that might be interested to do it. I reached out to him. I literally linked him to this podcast as, hey, look, I've been running, I've been on this podcast for, at that point in time, over a year. But and I think I might have sent him the behind the scenes podcast that we do for Between Two Minds. That is not, it's not this, we do this every week. And that one we do after shows. And so that's not always, we don't have shows weekly, not yet. So, he listened to that stuff and he says, yep, you're good to go. Let's do it. So,
oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And the devil's in them damn details. Like, will you just be sitting in front of a microphone interviewing folks? Or do you have to come up with content?
I mean, it's pretty much.
Or is it like us? You're going to sit in front of a microphone and just talk.
So what I think is going to happen is I'm going to have kind of the podcast booth or road studio set up or whatever, and as people, as people who are speaking are there, I'll probably be introduced to all of them and say, hey, look, I'm podcasting this. So after you speak, come find me. We'll sit down and we'll chat for 15, 20 minutes kind of thing.
Oh, sweet. Sounds good.
So,
that sounds like it's going to be fun. I can't wait to get that update come Michigan time. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's the September 20th through the 22nd.
Oh, that's my birthday month. We should be back. We should be back in town. Not that we'll be in Michigan, anywhere near Michigan, but we'll be back in the States.
Yeah.
Ideally, hopefully. No, definitely, because we're moving our tickets to Maine. To May, not Maine. We're not moving to Maine. We moved our tickets to May, and we'll be there for 90 days and then come back. We both applied to be auxiliary conversationalists, whatever it's called. And if we get that starts in October. So we'll have to come back in the beginning of August and then be here till end of September and then shoot back out to Spain. And hopefully, we don't know where you could be put anywhere because it's through the government. So they place you where they need you. And when you apply, you got to pick your top 3 choices of places to be. And of course, Costa del Sol was my number 1. The Canary Islands were my number 2. And I don't remember. And my number 3 was some other random place in Spain that had a beach. Yeah, so I will definitely, hopefully get that, and then I'll be there until, I think that goes until June or July, and then I'll come back. Well, no, then I'll stay there for the 3 months on the travel visa, and then come back for about a month and a half, and start it all over again in October. Yeah. If you see me looking around, it's because I'm looking for my phone, and I don't see it, which means a lot of the perfection things I've done is I left my phone out somewhere else, and I'm not gonna go get it. I'm not gonna worry about it. I'll do everything I need to do from here. What I was gonna look up was the dates, but the good news is, oh, you know what? You know what I need to do, and this is how perfect we are on this whole podcast thing. Is I need to check the time on Zencatcher because we have things we need to do.
Yes.
And stuff we need to give out to folks. And I think we should go ahead and shall we go ahead and get into it?
I think so, because we're doing how many drawings today?
A bunch. We have, well, I know we said we have the whiskey, but
Right.
that's the big one. We'll do that one last. We have swag to give away. And if you win, whoever wins this will be sure to reach out and get their t-shirt size and get them some Big Sexy Digital Nomad swag as well. And then anybody who is here in the live stream, you get extra. We're gonna do one just for you guys, and also we said swag, right?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, and Joshua Tar, enjoy work. Thanks for stopping by. Your name, because you were here, you will still be entered into the raffle. So don't worry. If you win, we'll reach out and make sure you get us your t-shirt size, or let us know if you want like a mug or something instead of a shirt. If you don't want clothes, that is possible as well. We will get all our swag will come from our merch shop at whereisbigsexy.com. And that is a lovely place to go to get. If you want some Big Sexy Digital Nomad swag, go there. And it's like where is in putting on clothes. You can go check that out. And then I think I put that in the chat box. Oh, it's funny. It's hilarious. Because I'm signed up in two different places on here, all my messages are also echoing. So yeah, just go to where is Big Sexy. So what I have to do here is put the screen up. There it is.
You know, we also should probably thank our friends who sponsor each and every one of these episodes from cruisehabit.com. Just like how that thing just popped up there, as I said, cruisehabit.com. Our friends Billy Hirsch over there providing a ton of information that won't cost you a dime because it's all a bunch of free content about cruising. And if you go to cruisehabit.com/Big Sexy Nomad, you'll that's a way to let them know that you found them through us. And there's a bunch of other fun options there. And we will most likely, the more traffic we send them, the more benefit that you as a listener of Big Sexy Digital Nomad are likely to receive from our friends at cruisehabit.com.
I definitely recommend swinging over there, checking them out. They're awesome folks. Love them dearly. And they really have really good information. Like not your typical just, oh, this boat is nice or whatever. They dive deep and they do a lot of cruises, and go. And you know what we need to do before we do that? Unfortunately, we don't have, we have some music and everything coming for our friends over at cruisehabit.com. But before that, let's do this. All right, hold on. And then they pull up yay, navigating the computer whilst you're still streaming. Oh, that's not what I need. I need this here. So since we're live streaming, we got people in the audience. How is everybody today? How's it going in your part of the world? Journeyman Jesus, man, thank you for being here. Really appreciate you being here. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna stop checking my mail. This is the dangers of me getting on here because I end up like doing just regular shit and like, oh no, you're busy.
Hey, for the purposes of the contest that we're going to do for people on the live stream, I don't know if we've got a way to see who's here. So drop us a message in the chat because I can see that there are 7 people here, but I can't see who. So if you want to be entered in that, please just drop some sort of comment into the chat. I'm seeing 3 of you, but the little thing up there says 7 of you are watching. So, you know, if you want to be entered, drop something in there.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, here we go. Boom. Okay. Oh wait. Let's see if I have any. Well, let me see what kind of things I have in here that we can have as background music for our buddies over there at Cruise Habit. Yeah. What? This one's called Feeding the Ducks. I don't think feeding is the right F word for this music.
Well, let's ask Jacob, the audio guy, about that.
He knows all about
Get
that.
yourself in the hot tub, cruise ship, booked through cruisehabit.com. Use promo code Safe Travels, and we'll throw a couple extra ducks in that hot tub with you.
Yeah. Our friends Billy and Larissa run a blog and YouTube channel called Cruise Habit. They're digital nomads that love vacationing and working from various destinations, including the 7 seas. As Billy often says, cruising is not one thing. And he wants you to have the information and ensures you take the right cruise. Follow their adventures and enjoy tip videos, ship tours, and more. Check out the Cruise Habit site and YouTube channel, cruisehabit.com/Big Sexy Nomad or cruisehabit.com/BSDN. You can even sail with them on group cruises around Virgin Voyages and other lines for exclusive events and extras. Check them out. Again, that's cruisehabit.com/Big Sexy Nomad.
Yeah. All right, let's give away some shit.
Let's give away some shit. All right. Doopy doopy doo.
What do you have the thing loaded up for? Is this for
So right now I have all the names, just everybody who's engaged with us. Send us an email, message us on any kind of social media. All of our Patreon are in here. And if you've engaged with us multiple times, your name is in here multiple times. So we'll start. We'll give away. We'll start with the everybody swag. So everybody in here gets swag.
Cool. And then we'll take the people that don't want.
And then we'll take the people who aren't going to Scoop Fest out of the list. And then we'll just spin for the whiskey barbecue ticket. And then we'll do if you're here today, we'll spin that wheel last but not least.
Sweet.
All right. So this first one, we want to do 5, or how much swag do we want to give away today?
I think we said 2 like this, 1 more for the live stream, and then you're also getting swag that you're going to wear at the whiskey barbecue for whoever wins that. So it's going to be, you know what, let's make it 5 total. So we'll give away 3. 3 on this.
All right. 3 spins. First spin coming up now. Oh, wait, before I do, if a person wins, do we want to remove their name? Or can one person win like all 5 pieces of swag?
Well, then
I think we leave it in. I say if you're lucky enough to have your name in multiple times, you're lucky enough to win multiple things of swag.
Okay, sounds good.
Sound fair?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. First spin. Drum roll. Spinning. Ooh, it's spinning.
It's making a little noise itself.
Ooh, Yay. Congratulations, Josh. I love it. The first person to win was the first person who left the stream. That went back to work. Shout out to Joshua. Awesome.
So hit close instead of remove on there.
Right. Oh, sorry you're not doing so well there, Jesus. Hope you feel better soon. You're traveling soon, correct? All right. So let me mark down our winners. That was Joshua Tar. Boom. Okay. Are we ready for the next spin?
I'm ready.
Round and round and round it goes. Where it stops, who the fuck knows?
We're about to find out.
Lee Popsicle.
I'm going to see Lee most likely in Oregon. He's from Portland. I am doing a week's worth of shows at a county fair up there, and that's first week of August.
Nice. By the way, myself and Journeyman Jesus have been out. He's coming out to California soon, near the end of April or mid-April, and we're going to get together. We're going to have him as a guest on the podcast to talk about his travels and all the cool stuff and the shows and the upcoming stuff. He's an amazing performer, so we're going to definitely have us a conversation. So really thrilled to have him here today in the chat. All right, are we ready for another spin?
Oh yeah.
All right, here we go. And spinning the wheel. Round and round and round it goes. It's going to give somebody something. Looks like ML Kennedy.
Yeah.
Has won some big sexy digital Nomad swag. Awesome sauce. All right. So congratulations to our winners. And then let's go ahead and remove the folks not going to Scoop Fest. I think I'm send a message out to ML Kennedy. Let me see if he responded with whether or not he's going. You know if ML Kennedy is going?
I do not.
All right, hold on a second. I'm just going to double check. I sent out messages to everybody. So Joshua Tar is not going. Lee Popsicle is going. Sebastian Robbins is going. Though he says he already has a ticket to. Oh, but he's definitely going to be entered. So Sebastian Robbins is still entered. Chris Lowry did not respond. Smitty Scoop did not respond. Journeyman Jesus, you're in it for the raffle as well, I'm sure. Close. So let's go. Start from the bottom. Lee Popsicle is Sebastian Robbins is. This is great podcasting right here.
That's right. So if you are not already following us on social media, check us out at Big Sexy Nomad. We're on the Instagram. We're on the Twitter. Who is Big Sexy? That's Big Sexy personally. I'm psychic-ish on basically all the major social media platforms. The username that I have a TikTok now for Judgmentalist. It's not psychic-ish, it's something different. But if you search for Judgmentalist, you'll find it. I don't remember what the username is. It's a terrible platform. But yeah. The Court of the Mind is in session.
I'd like to give a shout out to my dear friend, lovely not my partner, but partner in crime, my friend Jane. Shout out to Jane, definitely one of my accountability buddies. She's here as well in the background. So big shout out to her. You saw her commenting in the comments, handling stuff for us there. We definitely appreciate you so very much. All right. I'm trying to mix up the names a bit here to spread them out a little bit.
We can also thank our friends over on Patreon, those who are part of building this community and making everything successful, like Joshua Tarr, who's already won something here today, Sebastian Robbins, Lee Popsicle, Michael McKenna, Chris Lowry, whose new website we announced on the last episode for his travel agency is gowithlisa.com, Bree, Angel, Smitty Scoop, Margaret White, Billy H from cruisehabit.com. That's right, cruisehabit.com/Big Sexy Nomad, Rainbow Dreamcatcher, The Love Podcast, Joe Smith, Tess, Jen, Galen Diggs. You say it because I still don't know the pronunciation. You got this one.
Steph Tix.
He doesn't even need to read it because he knows what I'm talking about. Jesus and Scoop.
It's spelled weird, but yeah, she sent me the Steph Tix. But her screen name is It's the Steph Tix. All right, we're almost there. Just doing some name splitting. What I should do is since it's in the editing. Oh, speaking of which, you still don't get out to see a lot of movies. We saw Dune 2.
Yeah.
Yesterday. It was really freaking good.
How was that popcorn bucket?
We didn't get the popcorn bucket because I was afraid that I was gonna fuck it.
Okay.
And I don't think my wife would have been happy, but I definitely would have been tempted to fuck the bucket.
Maybe I need to go to the movies.
It's not a bad, I mean, it's a great place to get a weird ass popcorn bucket that, help you add your special sauce to the popcorn. Ew, gross. All right. We got our names in there. We have Sebastian Robbins, Wayne, Jesus, Lee Popsicle, Wayne, Sebastian Robbins, Kez, Crystal Twist, Sebastian Robbins, Wayne, Scoop Jesus, Kez, J.W. Reynolds, Galen Diggs, Lee Popsicle, Sebastian Robbins, Galen Diggs, J.W. Reynolds. Hold on a second. There we go. Smitty Scoop, Journeyman Jesus, Sebastian Robbins, M.L. Kennedy. One more time for Sebastian Robbins and Lee Popsicle. See, it really does pay. Well, we'll see if they win. But, I mean, Sebastian Robbins has a really good chance. But he's been one of our Patreon followers from the beginning. So big shout out to Sebastian. We definitely appreciate your support. And
positive vibes to all who are entered.
I want somebody to win, and I'm guaranteed to be happy.
I think that's how this works.
That's how this works. Yes. It would be Harvey wants to put one in here. Just says, literally anybody else. Do you know that story? The guy in Texas.
You talking about with the primary for the Republicans in Nevada?
No, this is for the running for president. A guy in Texas changed his name to literally anybody else, and
shit!
Is now running for president. Yeah,
I might have to vote for him.
Right. It's all fun and games till the fucker wins.
He's gonna keep it.
Yeah. So, also before we spin, speaking of news, you had some tragedy up in your area.
Oh yeah. Tuesday morning, I woke up in Atlanta to the news reports and videos, which I'm sure by now everybody has seen, of a what is it? A cargo ship that lost power and lost control and ran into one of the major bridges, and it just completely destroyed the bridge. So it doesn't affect me directly where I am traffic wise, but there's, like many cities have, 95 is like the major highway that runs north and south through Baltimore. And then there's what we call the Beltway, which is 695 that loops around it. And that bridge, which was like a mile and a half long, bridged the Chesapeake Bay. Well, technically it was the Patapsco River, but it's, an outlet of the Chesapeake Bay.
Right.
And now it's gone.
Isn't that crazy?
It's surreal, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Surreal.
Yeah, when big shit goes away, it's mind blowing. I mean, actually, when it doesn't happen, when it's not expected,
right?
They've blown up casinos in Vegas, and we've expected it. It's supposed to happen that way. But when accidents like that happen, that's really shitty. All right,
well, they'll be blowing up a casino within the next year because the Trop's going to be gone soon.
Yeah.
They're closing that down next weekend or next week.
I'm hoping the date of implosion is when we're here because I want to go see it. I love watching implosions. I got to see the Riviera implode. It's a trip to watch. It's a big party. All right, here we go. This is for one ticket to the Matt and Manley's Ice Cream Social Whiskey Barbecue at Jacob's House for Scoop Fest 2024. Good luck, everybody. And we're spinning. Give it up for Wayne Glow.
Wayne Glow.
Awesome, man. I thought the Baskin Robbins had it. It was right on the edge. All right. Congratulations, Wayne. Wayne, who would be here, but he is in Australia. And so it's like 4 a.m. over there, 5 a.m.
Yeah, I think it's like 4 a.m. there.
So
it's either 4 or 5 a.m.
Yeah, so he's unconscious. All right, so congratulations.
That is one half of
Hey buddy, nice podcast.
Yeah, the other half is
hey buddy, nice podcast.
Who they will be represented.
Hey buddy, nice podcast.
That's on a loop.
It's not on a loop.
Or were you pressing it each time?
I pressed it once. Did you press it too?
No. You know what? I bet the uploaded track has it 3 times.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, that might be a thing. Okay, well, now we know. Congratulations. Awesome. Okay, so here we go. And then last but not least,
got to throw everybody in that was here.
Remove that. I can do this.
That only played once, so I think you might have it looped 3 times in there. Why would you have it looped 3 times?
I don't know.
Whatever.
Journeyman Jesus. Joshua. Galen Diggs.
I kind of like some of these features. You know, because you just like put this stuff in here like that.
All right, I think. Okay, I'm gonna make an executive decision if you don't mind. I'm
I
still
don't.
gonna spin the wheel. However, as I was tallying as who's here, right? Of the, I think of the 8 viewers, of the live viewers, I think we only have 3 listeners.
At least only 3 that have presented themselves within the chat.
Well, right, because I think when I signed up for the other links or whatever, I think it's linking me in as one person.
Okay.
So I think on Twitch I'm 1, on YouTube I'm 1, on X I'm 1. So I'm 3 of the 7 or 8, right? And then and Facebook I'm 1. Then Jane is 5. Right.
That gets us to 8.
That's the 8. So we have the other 3 who are the 8. So my executive decision is, as a thank you for joining us today, everybody in here gets swag.
Okay, I'm down with it.
Yeah. We're gonna give everybody in here some big sexy digital nomad swag. So if you're listening, shoot us an email with your t-shirt size, or if you prefer like a mug or something different from our merch store, shoot us an email at our email address, which is
bigsexynomad@gmail.com.
That's it. All right, and hold on a second. If you need that, I'm going to put it in here. And I'm going to play with this.
I should have faded that out. Whatever.
Cool deal. Well, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Don't think we have any digital postcards. So if you listen, please feel free to. I think the last digital postcard came from our friend Jesus, and then yeah. Oh wait. Oh, this is. Oh, this is from Galen. So Galen sent us an email asking what time the live stream was going to be, and we waited till the very last. We'll get better at this, we promise. We did wait damn near to the last minute to make the announcement. We'll get better at presenting, making an event of it. I have a feeling the next time we do this, if we do this again, should be maybe we'll live stream episode 100.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll give us 20 more episodes, 20 more weeks to really perfect it. And not just that, I'll be in Spain.
And we'll figure out whether or not we're recording through this, or if we have to do the weird echoey thing that I'm hearing at least.
Right. Well, no, I'm also hearing the echo as well. So
Oh, okay.
as we have echoed our way to perfection, we appreciate everybody hanging out with us. Thank you again. You know, I'm trying to think if there's anything. Again, thank you to all our Patreons. Shout out if you aren't already signed up, swing over to bullwiththebutthole.com. It takes a while. I got to take a look at the note. Did you hear it?
I did.
You heard the full sound? Okay.
Yeah.
I have a slow computer, so by the time I heard it, it was just like, it did not sound like a bull. But appreciate y'all checking us out. And in the meantime,
Safe travel.
travels.